This is project number 2 on social versus behavioral learning theories, comparing and contrasting the two theories. The basic components of the social learning theory is that it's a cognitive process that takes place in a social context and can occur simply through observation or direct instruction, even in the absence of motor reproduction or direct reinforcement. It is developed by Albert Bandura. It adheres to most of the behavioral theories, but focuses more on the effects of cues on behavior and in intentional mental processes, stresses the effects of thought on action and action on thought. Modeling and observational learning play two important roles in the social learning theory. Modeling has to do with human learning is more efficiently learned from a model, and observational learning has 4 phases: attentional, retention, production, and motivational. Vicarious learning and self-regulated learning are 2 important concepts in social learning theory. Vicarious learning is learning from seeing others reinforced or punished for engaging in certain behaviors. Regulated learning, reinforcing or punishing oneself by observing their own behavior and judging it against their own standards. The basic components of the behavioral learning theory. It focuses on objectively observable behaviors and discounts any independent activities of the mind. Ivan Pavlov was the researcher that had to do with classical conditioning. He studied the digestive process of a dog to prove conditional stimulus, unconditional response, and conditioned stimulus in classical conditioning. Experiments were done to show how learning could affect what were once thought to be involuntary reflexive behaviors. B.F. Skinner dealt with operant conditioning. It was the use of unpleasant consequences to change behavior. It proposed that reflexive behavior accounts for only a small part of all actions. It focused on the relationship between behavior and its consequences. According to the text, the most important principle of behavioral learning theories is that behavior changes according to its immediate consequences. Pleasurable consequences are reinforcers and they strengthen behavior. There are 2 kinds: intrinsic reinforcers and extrinsic reinforcers. Intrinsic is doing something without any reward because you enjoy doing it. Extrinsic is doing something to gain praise or reward because you're motivated by it. Unpleasant consequences are punishers that weaken behavior. The Premack principle can promote behaviors by making access to something desirable reliant on doing something less desirable. The similarities in the social and behavioral learning theories are that social learning theories agree with the behavioralist learning theories of classical and operant conditioning. They both use experience as an important factor within a person's learning. Both theories use reinforcers and punishers as shown in both Pavlov and Bandura's experiments. The differences are that social learning theories and behavioral learning theories have different definitions of learning. Social learning theories focus more on internal mental processes, which may or may not result in instant behavioral change. Behavioral learning theories believe that observable behavior changes according to its immediate consequences. Punishers and reinforcers are not viewed in the same way. Social learning theory says that punishers and reinforcers basically produce expectations, whereas behavioral learning theory says that punishers and reinforcers cause a specific behavior. In summary, social and behavioral learning theories can both be used to understand how humans learn and behave within their own environment. I believe that something can be learned from Pavlov, Skinner, Bandura, and all the other researchers that developed and refined these 2 learning theories. Although they each have their own differences, whether it be in the way they define learning or how we respond to punishment and reinforcement, it can be said that each theory has its own place in how we evaluate and understand our own learning and our students.